What's up guys, welcome to Blake's Garage. Today we are working on the BMW M4. This is a F82 chassis. This is a mod that is going to be super awesome for this car. Flasher only works on the newer M cars, which would be the F87 M2, the F80 M3, F82 M4, and the F83 M4 convertible. Now, something that's really cool is you can change up the coding in those cars and actually put it into your either base model, your competition model. Shoot, you can even change your CS to some GTS stuff if you would like. So we're gonna get down to it with this guy right here, the Thor Flasher. You do need to grab this flasher. You will need to install the software as well. I'm gonna walk you guys through that whole situation. It should be pretty straightforward. What it's gonna do is change some of the coding parameters in the car. So these cars basically have a ton of coding stuff from BMW. For example, the limited slip rear differential, the things in that differential telling the car what to do, how to lock up that diff and all that are programmed in the coding, in the long coding of the car. Now those parameters can be changed. So what we're gonna do is change the rear differential coding in this car to the CS, maybe even the GTS. I haven't 100% decided on that. I might try both out. I'll let you guys know. But we're gonna change that. It's better lockup, more traction, that sort of thing. Also, we're gonna change up the MDM mode. I myself have a regular non-competition model F82. And this is a US version of this car. I actually did code in the Euro MDM mode, which I do love. The MDM mode is activated by hitting this button one time, and then it pops up your MDM mode. If you have a dual clutch transmission, the other thing we're going to be able to change out is the coding for the dual clutch. So we're going to take it from the regular coding and we're going to change it over probably to the GTS coding for the DCT. That's going to increase the clamping forces on the clutch down below there, and it will also change up the shift intensity levels. Basically, number 3 is going to shift even harder and faster. We're also going to see quicker upshifts and downshifts on the transmission when we hit the paddles. Right now it's a slightly delayed. I do still think that this car has a great dual clutch transmission. However, you know, you get a slight delay on an upshift or a downshift. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'll show you exactly what I'm gonna do on my phone here, and we'll go ahead and flash the car. First off, you are gonna have to purchase the Wi-Fi adapter. So this is the Thor one. I think this one just looks really cool. It's kind of got this 3D printed design. It looks awesome. This one flashes the car fairly quickly. I think it takes around like 13 or 14 minutes, something like that. MDH tuning one. This is the orange one. You can purchase this as well off the website. I'll kind of show you what this one looks like. This one looks like this, says MHD tuning on it, and it's an OBD2 Wi-Fi adapter as well. Pretty cool looking too. This one right here is the fastest of the bunch. This is the MHD tuning. They call this one the MHD eNet. So that's the one you're gonna look for. Also, you will see right down there, you have an RJ45 jack, so you could like possibly hook a computer up to this or something, but this does work through the phone. So this one is the quickest if you're looking for the quickest one to flash, but it's also the largest. So just something to kind of keep in mind. I think we're gonna stick with the original looking Thor one, mostly because it looks the coolest. So we'll go ahead and plug this in down here to the OBD2 port. It goes in one way or the other. Let's see, it's gonna go like this, little notch on the outside and plug right up underneath there. Boom, you'll see a light turn on, and then we're gonna try to connect to it from the phone app. Now also, when you're doing a flash on the car for the coding, one of the main things is you're gonna wanna fasten the driver's seatbelt. The car is gonna be off, so I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it off now. And also, you're gonna wanna turn off the lights so that those are not on, draining any of the battery. And also your HVAC controls are fully off. When we're doing the coding on the car, we may see some funny stuff up on the screen and here, but let's go ahead and make sure we kind of roll down the window. I like to crack the window a little bit just because you're gonna be in the car quite some time. You do not want to open the doors when you're doing a flash. You do not want to roll down the windows when you're doing a flash. You just want to sit in the car and let it do the flash. You don't want to screw with any of that. Now just go to your app store, you're gonna download Thor the M Flasher, and like I said, you're gonna need one of the little Wi-Fi guys. So if you haven't purchased that yet, you're gonna have to wait in the mail to get it. Once you have it, you're gonna basically just purchase a package. There's multiple packages here, so you got the full flash package, which is what we're gonna end up doing. Now, if you just want the dynamic package, which that just has to do with the differentials, the steering, and the MDM modes, you can do that. That one's a little bit cheaper. I forget how much it is right now, but it's a little bit cheaper. The DCT package, that's just going to be the DCT, so that's just going to be the transmission. And then you have the full flash package as well. Shows that I'm offline right now because I am actually hooked up to the Wi-Fi on the car. So we're gonna go ahead and hit the little corner thing there and hit connect. So the car is successfully connected. We also wanna make sure that we are in airplane mode and that sort of thing. So now we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the Wi-Fi. Why are we gonna do that? Well, I need to purchase the app and I need internet, okay? So I have hooked into that Wi-Fi adapter down there, and you saw that when I hit the connect button. So now we can just go ahead and purchase the full flash. That's gonna be through your iTunes and that sort of thing. Once that is successful, you're gonna assign the active car. So see, now we're actually able to flash it. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my Wi-Fi back on. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the Bluetooth and the data off actually, because this whole thing should be on the phone now. So now we're gonna do the full flash. All I have to do is hit flash now, and then we have two different things. We got the DCT package, right? So we can flash the DCT, that's the clutch, or we can do the well, what we can do is flash now again in the dynamic package. So you can see there you have the CS maps and the GTS maps, right? You see that on there, guys? Pretty straightforward, you know, this depends on what you want to do. So for me, I want to go with actually the CS map on the DSC, the steering, and a limited slip differential. Now, if you do feel like it, you could also do the GTS. Like I said, I may do the GTS later, but we're just gonna flash this for now. Super easy, all we gotta do is hit flash. So right now, it's talking about the tire pressure sensors, okay? So this is saying, yes, my car is equipped with tire pressure monitoring sensors. So if you have the stock wheels or you have TPMS sensors in it, click that top box there. So we are gonna try this. They say it can take up to 23 minutes. So again, we wanna make sure that all of our stuff is off, and we wanna make sure that, you know, if you have a little backup power supply, that's a good idea. Make sure your battery is all charged up. So we're gonna say yes on this, and it's gonna start flashing. So now something you may notice up on the screen here, when it is starting to do the flash, you're gonna notice some like some weird, you know, messages on the screens and things like that. Do not be scared of those messages. If you're into that certain menu of the car, when you're coding, stuff is gonna come up. Do not want your phone to die during this process, so make sure your phone is charged and your car is fully charged. Again, we're gonna be hanging out for a while, so I'll get back to you guys on this. So we've coded the limited slip differential, we've coded the steering. Now we're on to the MDM mode, which is the dynamic stability control. Again, like I said, these cars basically have three options. You have the Euro MDM mode. Oh, well, you have four. You have US MDM mode, which I would say is absolutely garbage. It intervenes like crazy, does not allow a lot of slip, a lot of yaw in a corner or anything like that with the rear end. It's for basically if you don't know how to drive. That's the US MDM mode. The Euro MDM mode lets the car actually spin the tires on a gear shift, on an upshift. It'll actually let you slightly get a little bit of angle going around a corner and move around the rear end of the car, which is really awesome. With the CS, you know, you're gonna get a little bit more of that. On the MDM mode, it's supposed to increase traction, and the GTS, you're supposed to get a little bit more traction as well. So, yep, we'll get down to this. I mean, look, it's still flashing, guys. We're 4 minutes in, and now it's on to the MDM mode stuff. So we're almost through it, honestly. I don't think this is gonna take the estimated 23 minutes, but I'll get back to you. And just so you guys know, my normal go-to settings, just so you can have an idea of how I drive the car, I pop in, I double click M2. Why do I double click M2? Because I drive this car with traction control fully defeated, usually just completely off. I like that feeling. I drive the car in Sport Plus for the throttle. I drive it in Sport Plus for the dampening. And a lot of times I keep it in that so that I can just click it one more down, so it makes me feel good. When I go, damn, this car's kind of stiff, I click it and it kind of lightens up, which is nice. You know, it's not as firm of a ride. And then, like I said, as far as steering goes, I keep that in comfort. All right, guys, we're getting a lot closer. The car's kind of going through its monitor status. It does say 100% on here right now. I think my screen recording kind of shut off, so sorry about that if you don't see it. But it looks like the car is kind of restarting. I'm not seeing any codes on the screen right now. And boom, flash successful. So that is great. What I like to do anytime I do a flash on the car, I like to turn the car off. I like to let the car go to sleep. That is usually the best idea when you've done any side of ECU flashing or anything like that. After that, we'll go ahead and make sure the car starts up fine. Let's make sure, you know, we don't have any codes. It does say that my car needs to be serviced here soon. Before I give the car a test drive around, I want to go ahead and just flash the transmission coding on here, right, for the DCT. So if you have a 6-speed manual, sorry, it's not going to do anything. I know a lot of people ask too, if you have like a non-M car, like if you have a 335, a 340, that sort of thing, are you going to be able to tune the car with any of this stuff? Sorry, no, unfortunately you can't. It's just an M car thing. So do yourself a favor, buy yourself an M car, you won't regret it. All right, so we are gonna code on with this DCT. I wanna change it to the GTS. We are now gonna go ahead and hit the flash button again on the screen, boom, right? And now it's gonna give me the DCT package. So we're gonna go ahead and hit that. And like I said, I'm gonna hit the GTS package here. So this is gonna take about 10 minutes. Again, make sure your lights are off and all that type of stuff, and then we can start. So we're flashing that now. So we're basically done here. The DCT flash took only 4 minutes and 39 seconds, so that was super quick. Now we can just hit OK here. And now we're pretty much fully flashed with the Thor stuff. So we can go back on here, you know, and go back to the different commands. And if we want to pick a different package as far as the dynamic package, we can do that. You know, let's just take a quick peek at the GTS map here. So you will see that it does have the different options here. So I don't want to go in there now. We're just going to go ahead and go back. I'm going to go ahead and turn the car off and let it kind of do its thing, fully cycle through. You do not have to leave this in the car. So just unplug it from your OBD2, throw it in your glove box, throw it in your center section. You know, once it's coded on the car, it's on the car. And then we're gonna do what I know everyone wants to actually see, the driving review. So I'll go ahead and rip on the car. All right guys, so maiden voyage. How we're gonna do this is I'm gonna keep my throttle in Sport Plus because that's what I'm most used to. Suspension, I'm gonna keep it in comfort, and I'm gonna go with comfort on the steering. And then as far as traction control goes, we're gonna keep it in MDM because traction full off, basically no difference as far as that goes, but there will be a difference in the way the differential works. So anyways, we'll try out the Mdm mode first. That's gonna give us less slip and kind of see how it goes. So let's get to my little spot. Now, honestly, I'm already feeling a lightness in the steering wheel like I never felt before. The steering always felt much heavier, so already I'm enjoying it. Driving down the road just a little bit, damping feels much softer. The car still feels nice and planted, but my streets around here are not that great, and honestly the car feels more comfortable. Again, I am in comfort mode, so I would assume and want that. Like I was saying, this car is a base model, so it was never a competition or any of that stuff, but I am on Swift lowering springs, so the thing looks legit. And it also rides very well, but this is actually a lot better. Steering, like I said, it feels a lot lighter. It actually does feel like it wants to turn, and it does feel like that dead spot is gone a little bit more. Before, trying to steer with like one finger, I can steer with one finger I want you guys to try that, all right? You can maybe do it like once on your car stock, but if your car has the stock steering coded in, I'm feeling like that is super, super hard to do. I tried it earlier, just kind of as a reference, because I was driving this car earlier. I drove it around for, I don't know, a good hour. So, you know, this isn't something that you probably want to do and just like not be driving the car earlier, because you're probably not going to like feel the differences as much. But this right now, I am already feeling the differences, which is great. So I almost always drive the car in full harshness as far as DCT goes. See the shifts. This is light throttle. I'm about quarter throttle right now. Shifts do feel immediate. Downshifts do feel a little bit snappier, right? Let's just downshift into third or into second. It's pretty quick right there. We'll get the beans going up on this off ramp right here. See how this limited slip works. Okay, so immediately the car feels like it gets more traction in the MDM mode. And by that I mean it doesn't want to spin the tires as much. When I have the MDM European mode in, the car will slide quite a bit more than what that was right there. We'll try it a little bit more somewhere else, but you know, that right there, it's nice. I did feel like the differential was doing a bit more. I did feel like the differential felt a little more locked up, but like I'm saying, the car usually will slide around. I mean, I can whip the back end out even in MDM mode. Like I said, I am used to driving the car with traction control fully off, but that did feel good. It felt good right there. So we're going about 80 miles an hour right now. Before, I could kind of have this pretty big dead spot in the steering. It's like we're giving it a little bit of steering. It does feel different. Honestly, the steering feels different in the way it's giving me feedback. So like if I kind of did this before, the car did not want to do much within this 1 inch, and it's still not crazy. I've always thought these cars should kind of have like a more direct feeling in the steering ratios, but I think this car is only like, I think it's like 2.4 turns lock to lock, so it is still a tight ratio steering box. So right now the car is feeling much softer in this comfort mode. The dampening suits the lowering springs right now, I would say, quite a bit more. We're gonna go on my little test track. I like this little area. It's super fun. If you guys did skip to this part of the video, this is the part you're gonna wanna know about. So at first, again, we are in comfort steering, comfort dampening, sport plus throttle, right? MDM mode is on, okay? This is usually an area where we get some third gear slippage, okay? Already, I felt that traction control just kick in. It is nailed down, it just kind of bit down. It did not spin the tires at all. It felt planted, felt responsive. Unlike what the Euro MDM mode will usually do, I'll be able to spin the tires a bit. Oh, slight tire spinach there. All right, so as far as the front end of the car goes, does feel a little bit softer right now, but usually I'm not ripping corners. Okay, see, I don't like how intrusive that is as far as the MDM mode goes, and I've kind of explained that before, guys. I usually drive with the car traction control off, but that did not let the car swerve in any sort of way, did not let the car kick the back end out in any sort of way. Here's second gear. We'll just try to like give it a little bit of beans. See that? It's hooking and putting the power down, which most people are really gonna appreciate that. Like I said, the Euro mode there, we gotta get some heat in the front tires because it is, gosh, what degree of temperature is it outside? We're on our 888R, it's 47 degrees, so it's pretty cool. I can feel the front end kind of coming in now, so that's good. Let's see. Oh yeah, front end's biting a lot harder now, so that's good. Kind of just pushing. We're getting a little bit of understeer, but the car is hooking in the rear. Yeah, it feels good. It almost feels more like the US mode as far as the traction control goes there. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna put the dampers. We're just gonna go sport. All right. steering, like I said, feels much lighter. It feels like how I always wanted the steering to feel on this car, so that's good. Seriously, the biggest change is what I see there. If you do have the US spec traction control, you'll probably notice a difference, but I don't as much because, like I was saying, I haven't really dealt with that too much recently. So, all right, with the dampening on, that feels good. I guess I'm on fuel reserve. Hopefully we don't get any sort of fuel cut on this, but car does feel really, really good. It gives me a little bit of yaw, like I had a little slight bit of rotation there, but it sorts it, right? So does what it wants to do. We're gonna go Sport Plus on the dampening, and then you know what, I'm gonna go Sport Plus on the steering. All right, so honestly, Sport Plus now on the steering seriously feels like how Comfort felt before. Not even kidding, it like just kind of moved it up the notches. So I never liked the old Sport Plus, so you know, maybe this is a better compromise what we're getting here. All right, Sport Plus on the dampening feels really good. Actually, we are not getting as much body roll. Everything feels really, really sorted here. Traction control kind of kicks in a little differently. As far as, you know, putting down the power, you will actually hear a difference in the exhaust note on the car, which is pretty cool actually. So that'll be like an immediate thing, you know, just something to kind of think about. You'll notice it when you do that. So I'd kind of be interested to see like what the difference between the GTS traction control is, and we can just program that in and kind of see like what the difference is on that and the CS map. So we're on the CS. The CS honestly feels really, really good. This is exactly how I wanted the car to always feel. So Sport Plus on the steering. I'm gonna go back to Comfort because I do like a lighter steering wheel. This feels more of that mechanical hydraulic feeling. Sport Plus on dampers, Sport Plus on the throttle. Okay, so Mdm mode's feeling good. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's getting the beans with the tires nice and hot. So yeah, dude, it freaking rips. It's really good. So with the traction control fully off, we'll go fully defeated. Really shouldn't change much. We're getting low on the gas. Hopefully I don't get any fuel cut here. I'm gonna have to, I wouldn't recommend this normally, but we're filming, we're already in the mode. So third gear, traction control's off, so I gotta be a little more careful here with the big old giant drifts, right? So we are pushing it a bit harder, front end's biting hard. Well, my tires are nice and hot, so it definitely like hooks on that sort of situation. But oh man, wow. I gotta just say, like, I love this car. Absolutely awesome. Well, I got all the heat in the tires, so it's kind of like unfair with the traction control off, but I feel that the car is putting down the traction very, very well. I mean, that was like wide open. Third gear around that corner coming out, which normally you get a little bit of tire spin, so maybe we're feeling those benefits of the rear diff, right? Like that's hooked right there. Third coming in, turning, right? Can we break it loose? Like yes, but the front end is actually giving out before anything, so the car is feeling like very neutral. All right, so there's a bit of that rear slip, a little bit of that drift there, and that felt really good. Honestly, that felt really, really good. Sometimes you kind of feel the diff like open up, kind of give you this like one wheel peel type, not really, but you can feel what the rear diff is doing. So second gear, kind of flick it in, you know, still spinning the tires. Like I said, I got 305R 888Rs, kind of hard to spin them right now, but I mean, we're like pushing and it feels damn good, dudes. It feels so good. Oh man, yeah, this freaking thing rips, man. I love this car. It's so fun, so freaking fun. I hope you guys like this little review, and hopefully like this gives you a bit of feedback as far as what's kind of going on here. Third gear wide open. Yeah, dude, the rear feels just perfect. You know exactly what the car is trying to do. It feels so planted. I'm loving the Flash. So rear diff feels great. Steering feels absolutely awesome. DCT, you know, it's probably one of those things that you're not gonna notice a ton. If it like bugged you before, you'll notice, right? So upshift, It's still got like a little bit of pause, but that's because I'm not on the throttle, right? So if I'm on throttle, downshift, wide open, bam, bam, pretty much no delay as far as that goes. So the car feels amazing. It feels really good. We're gonna fill it up with gas. I hope you guys like that review. Link down below in the description. Yeah, it's about 300 bucks to do the Flash, but honestly, you have a 60, 70, $80,000 car. Do this, you will love it even more. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Later, and wrench on.